I just made $3,700 today trading options in the stock market. And in this video, I want to break down the entire trade. And I'm also going to give you a step-by-step formula that hopefully you'll be able to follow so you can find trades like this and make money in the market yourself. With that said, let's hop right into it. I want to hop on here. I know I haven't done this before and I felt like something I wanted to do, and just pop on and show you guys a trade that I'm currently in that I actually am about to lock in profit on. And I was going to do that live in front of you. So right now, what you guys can see on my screen is ticker symbol BX. I'm gonna drag in my live broker and you can see ticker symbol BX where I went long. This was my entry on the 6th, and this is where BX is currently trading. So I've caught a nice, just about 6% move on ticker symbol BX, and I'm currently sitting up $4,000 on the open on this position. One of the things that I do over inside the mentorship is I allow everyone to see and copy my exact trades. So when I get in a trade, I'll post my entry and say, hey guys, I'm getting in this trade. This is why, and these are the contracts I'm buying. And then when I get out of that trade, I'm gonna let everyone know that I got out. And based off of whether I made money or lost money, everyone gets to see that. I'm fully transparent. Now I want to break down the trade here, what I saw, how I found BX, the actual setup, and kind of break down my thought process as I've now been in this trade for about 2 weeks, right? So I've had to have been pretty patient to actually stay in this trade and ride this momentum. Okay, like I said, it's about 6% on the chart that's been covered. Now, if we head back to this screen on a daily time frame, let's actually hop over to a 4-hour time frame. So this was my entry. This is where we're currently trading, up 1.56% on the day. Now, if we look at the ADR calculator, this is one of my custom tools. We can see the average daily range over the last 180 days was about 1%. So on average, between the daily high and the daily low, BX covers about 1%. And so today we're up 1.60%, which obviously is significantly more than the average daily range. And you can see, looking at the candles, we've seen, a decent size push today compared to the last week. So why did I get in BX? How did I find BX? Great question. Well, I used my software. This is what I like to call my edge in the market. This is how I figure out what stock I'm going to trade and what direction to bet on it going. And a lot of the cases, I'll buy the same exact option contracts. So you can see here on the 6th, ticker symbol BX at 12:29, I was notified via my software to buy BX calls. The spot, so at the time this order came in on my software, BX was trading at 175.87. And these specific contracts expired March 21st, 2025. These were the 180 calls. So what I did was I headed over to my broker. I put on this order. I entered ticker symbol BX. And what happened was the next day, we started trading to the upside, and then we saw a nice breakout on Monday. So I got in this trade, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, I got in this trade Wednesday, and Monday rolls around. We get a nice breakout to the upside. We form a little bit of resistance here, 2 tests of this level, 184.50. And, after that second test, tried to break that again at 184.50, essentially was rejected, pulled back a bit. And then essentially the next 4 days, we continued kind of just trading in this range, not really making any, notable ground to the upside or the downside. So a little support there at 178.05 formed. We got some resistance. We started trading within this range between 178.05 and essentially that 184.50. Now, what happened today, as you can see, well, we broke above this key level of resistance. We had tested last Thursday. We tried to break, were rejected. This was a 3rd attempt, and today we just got our break. Now, we are going to go ahead and we're going to lock in profit live. I'm going to do this in front of all of you. And as you can see, currently up $4,038 on this trade. Knowing that, I'm going to look to lock in about 44% profit. We'll go ahead and we'll send this order through and we'll secure these gains. But before I do that, I do want to say that we do still have a couple seats available inside the mentorship group for this year's enrollment. So if you're interested in joining and trading live with me every single morning, having access to see and copy all my trades, we do this on a daily basis. Now, with that said, let's go ahead. We're going to send in a limit order. And Should be able to see that there. My limit order is on the tape here. 1670 is where my limit order is set. P&L 42.16%. P&L open 3,938, and the P&L day is 1,546. So now this order is essentially on the order book. And as the stock market is a marketplace, when I want to buy an option contract or multiple, I'm actually buying those from someone. They're selling them to me. And so now I'm here as a buyer. I've put my contracts essentially on the marketplace, and I'm saying, hey, if anyone wants to buy my 8 contracts on ticker symbol BX for X amount, right? We just sent in our limit order. Someone can decide, hey, I want to buy these contracts. And normally when we're going in, when we're getting filled, I always say don't sweat the entry unless there's a very large spread. When I'm getting out of the trade, I typically like to go in with a limit order to try to make as much possible, right? I could have gone in market right now and I would have gotten filled immediately. There's enough volume, there's enough people trading and enough open interest on these contracts. Whereas now I'm trying to make a little more on these contracts. So my limit order is just sitting here on the tape. And you can see here under bid size, there is a little buying and selling going on right now on these contracts. Not a ton, but there is some. Now, if you don't know about options, volume is the amount of contracts that have exchanged hands between a buyer and a seller on that given day. And the open interest is how many open contracts are actually being held at that given time. So we can see behind these specific contracts that there are 6,131 open contracts. And then today, this is just today, there have been 8 contracts which have exchanged hands either between a seller and a buyer and a seller, right? Same thing. And then we will become part of that volume upon selling our contracts. And right now we're part of that open interest because we still hold those contracts. They're still open. And as we look right now on the 1 minute, SPY is pulling back pretty heavy. I'll take $5 less. Let's see what would happen if I can kind of bring that down a bit. So it looks like sellers are kind of backing off here. A little pullback there, but let's just be patient with this. 42. There we go. All right, we got filled. So someone came in, they bought up those contracts, and we just locked in that profit. So here is the exact net P&L and net ROI. You can see here $3,773.04 is what I made on this trade. The net ROI was 40.37%. Obviously my entry and then my exit, which you just saw live. Now, if you are interested in joining my mentorship group, I will put a link in the description below. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.